Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video, I'll be talking about the open-wheel race cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Open-wheel race cars are a very unique and limited class of vehicles. There are only 4 to be exact, but oh my, they are the most expensive vehicles in the game, apart from weaponized, at $3.4 million to $3.5 million. The cheapest is $2.9 million. If you were to add all these vehicles together, you'd be just shy of $13 million, which is why I wouldn't suggest to buy all of them. What I would suggest is to buy either the one that you think looks the coolest, or to use today's video as a guide on which one of these is the best. We're specifically going to be talking about lap times. Top speed, when it comes to these cars, is not a huge factor. The fastest goes at a top speed of 121, the slowest goes at about 116. And when you think about it like that, yeah, they're not incredibly fast at all. I mean, the average sports car nowadays in GTA goes faster than all the open wheel vehicles. So these cars are really known for this right here, which is absolutely insane handling. Now we're starting off in the R8H, which I actually think looks the coolest, but unfortunately I have to say the R88 in my opinion has the worst handling out of the bunch. It spins out a lot. Okay, we're fine. The great thing is that when you use brakes on these vehicles, as you can see, I get a little speed boost on my yellow bar, which allows me to recoup some of the speed I've lost. But yeah, I will definitely say that out of all the open wheel cars, my least favorite is the R88 on the handling side. It just really likes to spin out. You can see there we almost actually lost traction and did go out. So it definitely is the one that I think struggles the most when it comes to handling and everything like that. But it has a really fast boost, so it kind of makes up for that on the boost when you have to apply the brakes. So it's back and forth. The R88 has a lap time of 56 seconds, 0.791. And what's crazy is that the other vehicle, the DR1, has a lap time of 56 seconds, 0.790. It is a 0.001 difference in the milliseconds on lap time, which is actually insane when you think about it. So overall, I would say the majority of these cars are really not down to their lap time. It's more down to how you are as a driver. If you are able to drive all these cars really good, then you're probably going to do fine in any open wheel race, as they are so darn close on lap time as it is. There's really only one that sets a big difference on lap time compared to the others. So we've made it to the halfway point. As you can see, we've got 2 cars here. So this was the R88. It's $3.115 million, and I wouldn't suggest to buy it because I definitely say it's probably the worst out of the bunch. Now, we move on to the next slowest lap time, the DR1. Now, the DR1 looks cool, but I don't personally love the look of it. I think it's a little chunky looking, which, I mean, I guess if you personally like the look of it, then obviously every look is down to a subjective opinion. But yeah, for me, it's definitely not my favorite looking. But what I will say is that this car has much better handling than the R88. The DR1 just sticks to the ground absolutely crazy, like it's fly swatter paper, and it's just that super sticky crap. It's insane how well it sticks to the ground. You can see that we're only going about 112 though, 113. Really, these vehicles are not that fast, and that is just the killer of them when it comes to like getting from somewhere really fast. Is that sure, they have absolutely insane lap times. That's why these vehicles even have their own category. But the problem is that, I mean, I'm still pretty sure you could drive like an HSW Devastate and get up to 150 and probably get to your destination faster. But it's really just this here. This is what these cars, well, it's also great that you can still run over motorcyclists without falling off your vehicles. But what I was going to say is it's really just the handling. It's the fact that you can climb up a hill at over 100 miles per hour, and look at this turning. I mean, that is insane. The fact that you can still stick to the ground with that insane type of turning is just absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. Around that corner like a piece of cake. If I was in a normal car here, I'd probably have to go around 80 to 70 miles per hour on these corners. This car, we're averaging about 110, 105. I mean, it is pretty ridiculous just how fast these open wheel vehicles are at getting from point A to point B. There is one thing you got to be careful about though when it comes to these vehicles, and that is downforce. They have crazy amounts of downforce. You may have noticed earlier, but when I went over a bump, the car literally instantly jutted into the ground on the back of the car because that's where the main downforce is. And that is definitely something you're going to have to be very careful about when driving these vehicles is the fact that if you drive them a little recklessly, like here, you're going to notice that they almost kind of control like a really wobbly rocket. So you have to be very careful when driving open wheel cars not to get a lot of air, or you will fly into the air. So this was the DR1. Now we're moving on to actually the best. This is the BR8, and it's the one I would suggest to buy. It's $3.4 million, and it has a lap time of 54 seconds, 0.798. which makes it the fastest lap time out of all the cars in the list. Now, I should point out that I'm not the person who got these lap times. These are gathered by Bruffy1322, who is not only a great race car driver when it comes to the GTA community, but as well is just a fantastic acclaimed person when it comes to statistics and data gathered on all vehicles, so I fully trust the information I'm giving you here. Now, what I will say about this car is the reason its lap time is so much better than the rest is because its top speed is better. All these cars have fantastic handling, and when you have the fantastic handling, it's really going to be down to which car has better top speed, and this car goes 121, which is the fastest of the bunch. So because of that, it's the best car out of the bunch. So yeah, personally, if you want my opinion, I would get this car. Sure, it's really dang expensive, but as you can see, its handling is just as good as the others, sticks to the ground easily. Ooh, gotta be careful though not to turn the car when on that bump, but I mean, look at this, we're going 118 right now, easily around this corner. It's just so crazy to me how easily these cars turn around the corners. I mean, it's so fun. And then if you use your slight speed boost, you can get up to 128 there, I saw for a second. So yeah, I would definitely say to go for the BR8. Not only does this car look fantastic, the front look is just so dang mean, but it's just the fact that it's got that handling too, plus the top speed. You can see here again, we're going about 100 and I don't even know how fast we're going. I can't even read the speedo. I think that said about 118 though. But either way, this is definitely the car I would suggest to go for. The last one we're going to be taking a look at is the PR4, which is, I would say, kind of the best of the bunch if you're looking for one that just looks really cool. I think the PR4 looks the best, right next to the R88. The problem is the PR4, well, it just doesn't really stand that close on a lap time compared to the BR8. As I said, the BR8 is a lap time of 54.798 seconds. The PR4 is 56.424. Now, obviously, there is human error that comes into these lap times. I mean, obviously, if you're a really good driver, it might not make too much of a difference, but the problem is just the BR8 has that top speed advantage, which definitely gives it that slight edge over the rest of the vehicles. But I definitely think that this one looks the coolest. I just like that little classic spoiler on the back with the front design as well for the splitter. I just think it looks really, really cool. Either way, all of these vehicles are absolutely fantastic, and you can't really go wrong with any one of them. The only one I would definitely suggest to stay away from is the R88 because of its really loopy handling on specifically traction. That is the problem with the R88, and it's the problem with the car that really kills it for me. But all these other ones, I mean, you can see very easily here, you can turn these corners with no problems whatsoever. Full speed, easily turning the corner here. Look at this corner, absolutely sharp, and yet this car just makes a mockery out of it. It is pretty dang hilarious. Here we go again around this corner. What I'm going to do before I end off the video is I'm going to pull out the Assault Pariah, and you're going to see just how much better the open wheels cars handling is compared to the Pariah. So even though you may realize that, yeah, these cars don't have the highest top speed, it's the fact that they don't really need the highest top speed because they just don't have the other problems of, you know, turning. These cars can turn. I mean, I'm not going to apply a single brake here. We're going to go full speed down the hill, and you'll notice I'm not going to apply the brake on my yellow bar. And let's see if I can turn every corner without crashing. So here we go, full speed here. No crashing yet. Oh my god. Oh, okay, we're fine. We're fine. Still going, still going. Look at this. I mean, that's just physically impossible to do with any other type of car. So I'm gonna go get out my Pariah, and let's do a little bit of a comparison just to show the difference on handling with these vehicles. Alright, so let's try this in the Ocelot Pariah and see the difference when it comes to just the same course. So here we go, full speed ahead. Oh, okay, we're fine, we're fine. I thought I was going to crash into that Jeep for a second, but here we go. Okay, applying the brakes around this corner. Oh my, okay. Oh, we've already crashed. I will add that I'm not a bad driver. I'm actually a fairly good driver. So it's really just the fact that I'm so used to driving the open wheel race cars for about an hour messing around with this video that now driving a car like the Ocelot Pariah is just so much different. Holy crap, it's not even close. Oh my god. If any of you own an open wheel car, pull out the open wheel car, drive it for about 30-40 minutes, and then pull out a car like the Pariah. and see how the handling is. Oh my god, this is the craziest it's ever been for me to notice the difference in a car's handling. I mean, look at this. I'm full turning here. You don't even make the corner. So I think this is a good enough example here on the difference between an open wheel race car and a not open wheel race car. I mean, you literally have to apply the brakes every single corner you make. So yes, top speed is important. Top speed is a making or breaking factor, but I have to slow down to probably 50 miles an hour to turn these corners, where in the open wheel cars, I'm allowed to go around these corners at maybe $1.15. So there's a very big difference between these vehicles. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. As always, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!